Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here, and today I want to chat with you guys a little bit about something kind of on the other end, and it's stuff I'm working with a little bit right now as I'm dieting down and coming from being purely a strength bro to saying, okay, you know what, I probably should, work on my physique a little bit on top of that. It would be good overall for marketing, and, so let's talk about that. So what should guys who have been training almost entirely for strength do if they say, you know what, I'm strong and yeah, I'm pretty big. I look big walking down the street, but I don't have that look, and it's one thing to look big in clothes. It's another, because you actually are big because you have a big wide back and everything else, because that's going to tend to happen. You're going to have usually pretty big pecs to some extent. If you're a strength bro, you're going to have those things. So where do we go if our training has revolved largely around stuff like the big three and just back work? Because I think that's pretty ubiquitous in the strength world. We're going to have a focus on squat, bench, deadlift. Usually going to be a lot of rows and maybe pull-ups, depending upon, the sort of adiposity someone has had. So how do we then come through the other side and go, okay, well, I don't want to compromise my strength, but I'm going to get leaner, but I also do kind of want to look good. And that is a problem. How many powerlifters out there have said, I'm never going to do curls, right? So in my case, like I said, these pictures are just a few weeks into me cutting. First time I've cut in like a year. But I didn't gain much body fat while bulking this time. But, I'm over here working on physique, and these are some of the lifts that I'm doing, that I'm working with right now. And I think this could give guys a good idea of where do we go. You'll notice through this video I'm doing incline benching, I'm doing some skull crushers, doing some curls, fairly strict curls where we're doing a full range of motion. I'm doing pullovers, and then I'm doing extra ab work, hanging leg raises. So let's discuss these different lifts as you see them in the background of why we as strength bros might want to incorporate some of this. Keeping in mind, this assumes we're actually dieting down to get a little leaner also. And here's the other thing. None of this is going to hurt you from a strength perspective. If you get leaner, you're going to be in a better weight class. If you get leaner, your deadlift may go up. Keep in mind, body fat hurts the deadlift. It helps the bench and the squat. But these lifts may actually help with your benching, some of your other stuff too. Okay, so one thing people will say, well, lats are a huge part of it. Okay, but most strength bros have lats, right? Let's be fair. How much rowing do we see strength coaches prescribing? A lot. A lot. So I didn't include that. Now, if you haven't been doing lat work, there are some strength bros who don't. I'd probably start working on doing some pull-ups. So let's talk about some of these other things. What are we doing and why? And these are lists I'm going to continue to do as I work on getting a bit leaner. Incline bench, right up at the top of the list. Guys who are chasing quote-unquote aesthetics. And you know what? I'll just quit being afraid of the word. Let's just use it. Because we're going to use it in the popular culture term, not historic term, aesthetics. You just want to look good. You want to look jacked. Incline bench, way up there. Getting good at the incline bench. Why? Builds the upper chest, builds the front delts. Now, everyone, you'll see so many people go on and on about the side delts, rear delts, and I'm not saying we shouldn't train those to some extent, but by and large, I have found many guys who focus on the front delt exercises, overhead pressing, incline benching, still have that look from the front. So what is it you're trying to do? You're trying to work on the show mirrors. Stuff's going to make you look big from the front. Because if you're a strength athlete, you already look big from behind. And if you diet down, you have the V-taper. You look big from behind already. We're trying to look big in the mirror, big in the front. Show muscles. Incline bench, I would say that's way, way up there. Way up there. Probably incline bench and curls are probably the two most important things you should add in. All right. The whole upper chest. Front delts. Incline is amazing for building both. It'll help well round out your chest. Okay. I find that it helps me get, as I'm getting a little leaner, as you guys see in some of the stuff, a little bit of that separation and stuff in the upper chest. I think that's from the incline. Now, we could argue scientifically the Flat bench seems to work the upper chest almost as much as the incline. That's what it seems to be on paper. But in practice, has that been what everyone's found to be the case? I don't think so. A lot of bodybuilders and aesthetic bros, as opposed to strength bros, swear by the incline bench. Probably for a good reason. They seem to get good results doing it. Are we really going to argue with that? Now look at some of the strength athletes you know who are leaner, who have great incline benches. They look real big up top, don't they? So just go with it. Trust me on this, guys. Just you work on your incline bench if this is something you want to do. Guess what? It'll carry over to your flat bench. If you're a completely raw bencher who benches with a pause and everything on your chest, the incline will carry over anyways. It'll make your bench better. All right, arm work. A lot of strength bros have worked a lot on lateral head of our triceps. So we've done J-arm presses. We do all that stuff. Benching is good for the lateral head. What about that long head? We need extensions of some type and a good normal skull crusher. Notice on those skull crushers, I'm rocking it back a little bit towards the face. It hammers the whole tricep, stretches the long head. We oftentimes lack that long head. Okay, that's where we're lacking. Even guys who are strong at close grip. All right, you guys have seen me before. Close grip 365 with a pause, a true close grip, right? I don't lack tricep strength. I like that long head. You can still see it there clearly. It needs work. Extensions like this will build that long head. And guess what? They'll still probably help your bench press. Lo and behold, your bench will probably still go up from it. Curls. This is the obvious. Also quit curling like a power lifter. Because if power lifters bothered to do curls, what do we try to do? We treat it like a power exercise. We always want to do power curls. Don't get me wrong, I like power curls. Maybe we need to be doing curls where we stretch at the bottom. Maybe we'll quit tearing biceps so often on deadlifts if we actually learn to stretch and extend our biceps and we get them used to being in a stretch position. Incidentally, stretch position movements seem to cause the most muscle growth in studies. How about we start curling and actually go all the way down and come down to a stop and stretch our bicep and quit trying to power clean it up to our face. Make it a back exercise. Just work your biceps. The elbow. Just make sure the elbow goes to a full range of motion. Do some reps. No, everything over 5 reps isn't cardio. Do some curls. Do some pullovers. Let's go over to that too. Pullovers. Guess what? It'll help our shoulder mobility. It'll help fill in the back a little more. It'll help build your chest. It helps with shoulders, helps with chest. It'll help you stretch that upper chest that we get super tight from all the benching. Then makes it hard for us to incline bench. Guess what? It'll carry over to your incline bench. It'll improve your mobility through your chest. It'll let you incline bench better. Help build those serratus muscles and everything. Okay? Do some pullovers and do them strict. We're not chasing it as, let's see if we can get 200 pounds on the bar and half rep it. And then do some ab work. Guess what? Hanging leg raises. Hanging leg raises are great. A lot of power lifters, a lot of strength athletes do abs. We know this. They do. I'm not saying we don't. But do some direct ab work. Do plenty of it. As you get leaner, it'll give you some thicker abs. They'll show easier. Guess what? It'll also help you keep your squat and deadlift up as you lose body fat. And you can't brace quite as much because you don't have all that fat in the area. It'll make the area stronger. You'll be good, guys. Trust me on this.